What is going on, guys? Please forgive the echo in my kitchen. Joey Franzel here at FLEXX Training Systems, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about expectations in training. Now, I did a video on this probably over a year ago. It could be multiple years. And it was really the only thing that was on my mind. Usually when I make these videos, I'll be, dealing with something with a lifter, and I'll be like, you know what, that'll make a good video. There's actually been a couple of those recently. But I just wanted to kind of talk about expectations in training and kind of paint a picture for you guys, and you guys can take away from it and hopefully apply it to your own training, and it can kind of help you sort of get through. So what am I talking about? Expectations in training. So let's say you have been training for a while and you've been getting a bunch of progress, right? And, for 2 or 3 weeks in a row, you're doing great, right? You're killing it. You're hitting PRs, you're on cloud 9, right? And then all of a sudden, which is expected, maybe around week 4, week 5, week 3, whatever, after those string of up on your lifts, you start to hit a wall, right? Maybe you go back to school, something changes in your life where your recovery is not what it was, and this slows you down, right? So you have a down week. Or it could even be as simple as maybe on a Monday you hit a PR on squat, right? And then on a deadlift day on Wednesday or a Thursday, you don't do so well, right? You're weak for some reason. Oh, well, we know why, right? I literally just said it. But what I have often found, especially with younger lifters, is this whole thing is kind of new to them, right? They haven't really experienced a proper program. They don't know what to expect. They have no it's their kind of first time going through it. So usually, more often than not, they kind of freak out a little bit, or they worry, or they do what most humans do when something that was previously working doesn't work. Usually it's over a very long period of time where you should, a pretty decent period of time where you should decide, okay, this plan isn't working. Or you trust your coach, and that's not even a decision that you would make. But basically, short term, you run into a wall, you are unable to PR like you were, you're not gaining the same kind of momentum, and it starts to bother you, right? I recently had a lifter who was doing really, really, really well, and then literally just hit a freaking PR on a Monday, and then on a Wednesday, or maybe it was a Friday or a Saturday, I don't remember. The deadlift was it wasn't even shit. It just wasn't what they had expected. And I think having expectations, the way that I train people, having expectations coming into training without having the sort of backstop in your mind of okay, I kind of have an idea of a number that I think I'm going to hit based on what's on paper. But I have to understand that, there's a lot of things going on in my life, with my food, my nutrition, my life, my training, whatever. And it's possible that the expectation that I set for myself might not be there. And that is okay. It's kind of a weird thing, right? Because, lifters that are seeking guidance from others, maybe they didn't do their research on them, or maybe they don't believe in them as much as they thought they did, right? So they start to second guess things. And it's interesting because sometimes the lifter will make a decision or think that they know something, when in reality, the reason they were reaching out for help is because they don't know as well as somebody else. And that's perfectly fine. That's how you learn. That's how you get better. Believe me, when I'm into something, if I want to be into it and somebody knows something better than me, I'm fucking all over that person. That sounded weird, but I'm studying that person. I'm learning that person. I'm trying to learn from them. I'm doing everything that I can to absorb every little piece of information that they can put out. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you should be doing if you want to perfect, whatever it is that you're into. So, I had to tell the lifter, hey, look, like you literally just hit a PR like not too long ago, and squat and deadlift have interference, and you gotta understand. I mean, if you think of it from a bodybuilding perspective, it'd be training lower body or legs like twice, right? Some bodybuilders classify deadlift as back, some bodybuilders classify it as legs. It's just what it's whatever for your body type you feel working. I mean, me personally, I would call it legs because I feel the glutes a lot and the hamstrings. If you're feeling your back, I mean, it could go either or. Really, it just doesn't matter too much. But you guys kind of get what I'm saying. So there's been infinity times where a lifter comes into the gym and it's crazy because they try to do so many things themselves to give themselves a good session. And what I mean by that is they will purposely like reduce some activity, try to eat more food, try to really rest, and try to force a good day to happen. In the short term, you can't really do that. And, I mean, it does help, but it's not the same. Like, you're not going to erase 3 weeks of ascending volume and 2 days of deciding to take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this lifter did that because they didn't. I mean, they just are. I assume they are always on point with their stuff. But it can really be a letdown when you do that because now you're putting extra stuff into it that you should have been doing in the first place to try to force something or make something happen. And then when it doesn't happen, you're kind of just like, you feel defeated, you feel confused. It's like, fuck, I just put all this into it and I didn't get the result that I was looking for, and you feel really bad about it, right? I totally understand that. It's a natural human thing to try to do. But getting stronger just doesn't kind of work like that. There's a process that we have to go through, and you got to be patient, and you got to you have to do what you're supposed to do. And if you don't do those things, whether you want to or not, like what you want and what is going to happen are not going to always sync up. Meet day is going to be the best. Meet day and immediately after the meet are the 2 times when your expectation is going to be that you're going to be stronger on meet day than any point than you were in training. And that should be true like 99% of the time. Sometimes something weird can happen, who knows, and that doesn't happen. But I mean, for just in my experience, we just had our state championships and everybody did like consistent with what I expected. Like there was no surprises. There was nobody like, oh my God, why is somebody extra weak? No, none of that. Literally everybody was on point. It's all on the internet. You can go look people up, Team Joey FLEXX, hashtag, whatever. And that's how it should be, right? Because, and of course, like over time working with these lifters, you're going through the process of a meet prep, and you're dealing with that mental, oh fuck, I thought I was going to be strong on this random training day, but I wasn't. I wanted to keep the PRs going. You guys saw the video I did with Isaac a little bit back. Isaac is, so the young part of him is literally just his age. Like his age is literally young, right? But he is very mature from a mental standpoint, and he is able to the thing about being young is you're going to have emotions, right? No fucking 20-year-old kid is going to be a brick and just be a robot and do exactly what they're supposed to do and have zero emotional attachment and let nothing ever, kind of bother them mentally, right? It's just fucking not going to happen. You have to go through the bullshit. You have to experience the ups and downs. You have to be utterly destroyed emotionally to learn from it. And even if you have an amazing coach that's telling you, yo, this is what you need to go through, or this is going to happen to you if X, Y, Z, they'll literally acknowledge it and it'll happen to them and they'll still feel like shit because it's just something that you got to go through, right? It's like one of those, it's just one of those things. I don't care who it is, unless something's probably wrong with you. If you get broken up with and it's unexpected, you're going to feel like dog shit. You're probably going to feel like dog shit unless you're just like, you know what? I'm literally being shipped to the military. Yeah, it feels like shit, but I don't have time for this right now. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes external factors can help kind of blunt that or block it out, but I feel like you will have to atone for it at some point. And you guys always know I talk about paying your dues, right? Like you're going to hit PRs, you're going to be strong, you're going to do whatever you got to do, but just guaranteed right? The fatigue Grim Reaper is going to show up and he's going to be like, yo, you got to pay me my dues now. You got to pay me my dues. And if you don't, I'm going to break you. And he is like an undeniable force. You are literally going to have to deload sometimes. You cannot simply linearly just up forever unless you're taking a shitload of steroids and you put your max like super low and you're just like progressing week to week to week to week to week to week for like 12 weeks and you started with like an incredibly low max. You guys get what I'm saying? But we don't train like that no more. Like I don't even know how to train, people that do that kind of stuff. So because it's not my field. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? You guys understand that sometimes you're going to have an expectation and that expectation is not going to be aligned with what your body's able to give you. That's why I always say, take what you can, take what your body gives you. It's okay to have goals, but understand that you may have to put in a little bit more work. It might take a couple more blocks to do that, to hit your goals, than what you're trying to do right now. And, for those of you following along in the story, that lifter, he ended up hitting another PR the week after he was like, oh, like my deadlift shit, whatever, this and that. His deadlift wasn't even shit. It was just weaker than his expectation. He came in and he blew up a monster squat. And it's just like, sometimes your recovery pattern is going to favor one lift over another, or, maybe you overdo it on one day. Like you put everything into one lift because that lift is a very mental lift for you. And that's like a lot of people are like that. Some people, they don't even care about their squat. They don't really care about their bench. But if their deadlift is shit, they're fucking depressed, right? And it's like, I try to get people to a point where you're never going to be like that. You're not going to have emotional attachment to like a lift, right? Like if you have a bad day in lifting, quotes, bad day, right? It's not a bad day. You can still move forward, right? It's all about moving forward. If you feel great, you're supposed to take what you have. That's going to move you forward. If you feel like shit, you're supposed to dial it back. That's going to move you forward. At the end of the day, there is a way to be productive. And if you can grab yourself in that moment when you feel like shit and say, okay, I feel like absolute shit right now. How can I be productive and move forward? If you get emotional, you instantly lose the guy who's next to you that's in your weight class that doesn't do that and knows how to appropriately manage that situation, is going to get ahead of you. I've seen it a million times. You literally have to, there's a huge mental component to it. And doing the right thing in the gym when you feel like shit is what's going to separate, a champion from just a guy who does this sport for like a year or two, realizes hard work, emotionally can't handle it, and does something else. Anyway, thank you guys so much for making it this far. If you're able to take something away from this video, can I get a like, please? Please, asking for likes here. Please, can I get some of those likes? I'm kidding. You guys don't have to do anything. Let me get a hashtag focus. Hashtag focus in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.